sky get any hotter? You're never going to see anything that incredible again. Look out. Do you believe it? It's the instant match against the world. That might be the key.
All right, let's move on to the Great Awakening. In the words of Teddy Ishak, the immortal, nothing can stop what's coming.
Right, he's been screaming that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, Trump did announce he wants to run on...
Run in 4 years from now, 3.5 years from now, yeah.
That he did say to a couple of people in our community last week.
Yeah.
He mentioned that.
So
I don't think he's president now.
Let's get to their team. On the mound, I think, is their biggest question mark. Question number one, Edmund Beta. Edmund Beta has a lot of promise. They took him because they didn't want to end up with the last pitcher from the way the draft was going. Edmund had his ups and downs, and he's taking his lumps in the Brooklyn League. He looks great one week, and then he looks like he's getting hit very hard the next week.
By the way, he's pitching in Lakewood also.
And he's pitching well in Lakewood,
He's
actually.
pitching up and down
I think he
also.
beat the Saban team last week.
Yeah, 12-9, so you give him a run.
Okay, listen, I know he's hungry. I know he wants to get good at his craft. But Edmund Beta, as a rookie in this league, I don't know. I'm not sure.
We'll leave it on a maybe.
Yeah, well, the jury is still out on that. At shortstop, JoJo Saruya. I think Teddy's moving over.
Teddy will probably move over, and Teddy's playing short center field on Sunday.
I have T.I. at second base on this team.
I think he's going to go to short center because it feels a little bit more like shortstop to him, and he's doing a really good job at it.
No, but he's got to put Ian Lerner there because Ian Lerner, that's his natural spot at short center. He's
Ian
not
Lerner could probably play second.
Either way, interchangeable.
I really think T.I. will end up at short center, and I don't think it's a bad move because I saw him there and he's playing great.
Okay, listen, we know he's capable. He played a very good shortstop last
JoJo
year.
Soria's got to have a comeback season for this team to be anything.
Yeah, well, they do have
down.
Joseph Ferrari also.
Yeah,
so let's not.
JoJo had a down year last year, and he's due to come back.
1 second. You have JoJo Saruya, you have Joe West in center field, and you have Solly Cohen in left.
Yeah.
This team is really strong offensively.
It is. And Solly Cohen is the guy that we always say, like, over the last years, he's going to be great. No, now he's been great.
And guess
he's
what?
Back.
He
back.
is hitting really well. Really well.
I'm not hearing it from one. I'm hearing it from everybody.
See, I'm playing on the same team with him at night these days.
Sol's back.
He's back.
He's real.
Everything off his bat screams.
Yeah.
Your
Very promising rookie.
Your nephew,
That's right.
Yitzhak Safdie, Meyer S's son. Listen, I don't know much about him. I've seen him a few years ago, but I know that everyone raves about him.
Yeah, I know a lot about him. He's fantastic.
So he's going to be in right field. He might be the best right fielder in the league.
Yeah.
Then at first base we have David Arari. Back to that Sammy S's T.I. David Arari mix. Right, they went back to that well. T.I., of course, I believe he's going to be playing second or short center.
Okay, I think so.
Either way. Sammy Esses, he has to replicate what he did last year at third base.
So I think Sammy Esses played out of his mind last year, and I do not think he's going to.
It's very tough to be on that level because he was almost elite at third.
He was incredible, and I can't see him replicating it. Not because he's not good, but like you said, he played out of his mind.
Right. Then we have Ian Lerner, which he finally got a chance to play with his brother on Montana.
Ian Lerner have a lot of good things. He had a lot of deep shots to left.
Yeah, he got hurt a lot.
He got hurt. I think he's going to be good.
Right, and then we have Coney, another member of last year's World Series squad. So we know they went back. And then Albert Sitt.
Another good swing man.
I would like Albert Sitt. Last time I saw him, it looked like he was up about 15 pounds. Maybe he found what Ike Batesh lost.
I can't talk. I'm trying, by the way.
We're all trying. I'm just saying it as it is. So
he's a young man, but he just got married, and I hear his wife makes a delicious kanafiya.
Yes.
Easy.
With extra of that syrup stuff on top.
Good. Don't invite me.
Unbelievable. And listen, if I had that issue, I would also probably be overweight. But I am overweight, so I don't know. And then finally, to round out their team, another member of Where We Go When We Go All, Victor Schrem.
So they picked a lot of winners from last year.
Yeah.
They figured out a way to get a lot of them. It's a recipe that doesn't usually work the second time around. And the biggest glaring thing, if we want to get into it, is Edmund Beta.
That's right.
Question.
Listen, I think they're a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere if Edmund Beta doesn't adjust. It's a gold bull. I don't think he ever played with a gold bull before.
Only in our minors.
Yeah, in the minors. And listen, he actually pitched well, but he's pitching against a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Yeah, so I saw him in the minors. I thought he was like
Cy Young,
yeah,
right.
He was ridiculous. Apparently, backing up 3 feet and going against guys that are 100 pounds heavier makes a difference.
So I think there will be an adjustment period, but the right captains are at the helm. to mold a guy. Like we saw what they did with Eddie Harari last year. They elevated his game to the next level.
Joe S also could help with that. He's another captain type.
Right.
So they do have that. I'm putting him in the wild card game.
Okay, so I have them as a playoff team as well,
Okay,
a bubble
I have
playoff
the
team.
4-5 game.
But listen, their offense is ridiculous. They're
Yes.
stacked.
Their offense
and they
is
might
real.
outslug teams.
They may. But so I think they're a 4-5 team, and I think they could get through. But they're going to be in that 4-5 matchup, in my opinion.
All right, that was
Confidence.
down to the final three teams.
Yeah, so now Stephen Gindy was, in everybody's opinion, put in the hardest spot for the draft. Just because of
Speed Kills is the name of the team.
details. He had to do some work, and I think he did a good job. Let's jump right in.
I think Ray Esses being his co-captain definitely helped him.
Yeah, may help him.
And because if you look at his squad, it's not a prototypical Stephen Gindy squad.
They threw
I mean,
little sprinkles of right.
If Steven had an opportunity, he would draft Nusi Jakobovic, even though he wasn't in the draft 10 times in a row. But that's why it's good Ray was there.
Oh, we miss you, Nussi. He's not here.
We
this
do,
year.
of course we do. On the mound, Steven
So-
went back to his truths. I don't know if he even wanted what he got, but he got a player that I think is going to help him.
So Ralph Hannon
Yeah.
is the pitcher on this team. Ralph at the time maybe wasn't pitching great.
Gonzaga, he pitched unbelievable.
No, I'm talking about this year now. So people were saying, I don't know, maybe Ralph's not having a good year. Ralph's pitching great right now.
And he's got some weird movement
And-
on that fastball.
Yes,
Vince.
and at night Ralph has a habit of pitching even better than he does during the day in general. So Ralph Hannon, we hope his bat comes more alive.
Yeah, because it's been
That's
slacking
something-
lately.
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable at times, and his bat's slacking, so we have to hope that.
And at shortstop, we obviously have Stephen Gindy, who last year, in my opinion, was a top 4, maybe top 3 player overall,
Right.
defensively, offensively, getting on
The
base.
key was, offensively, he was back last year.
So now
See, he hit again.
I would like him to be a little more assertive offensively and go try, even if you sacrifice a few points of your OBP and you're now walking 14 times a year. We know he has power. He used to have gap power, and that's gone right now.
But last year, compared to 2 years ago, he was starting to come back that way. Balls in play,
which
on
is a
base.
big reason why Spindrift was in the World Series.
Yeah, he was hitting those doubles to right center field again. So Stephen Gindy's bat, you want to say you want to even take another leap? But last year, he was elite. Last year, he was great.
He was great.
And you said he was in the World Series, a big part of it.
And then another Stephen Gindy guy, I think he picked Nuni Aharon Cohen like 15 times, and he's not even 15 years old.
So everybody knows, and everybody will agree, the trajectory of Ahadon Cohen is only up.
But when is that year where he takes the leap?
When is it going to turn into MC?
Because right now, I put him on the same playing field as a Teddy Braha. He's a
right.
little, you want to say he's a shade better?
Yeah, you got to give him a tick offensively.
Fine, no problem, but he doesn't separate himself that much from a guy like Teddy.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Yeah, so we are waiting for that next tick.
Right, and listen,
it's there.
He's built really, really thin, so I think the way he's going to do it is utilize his speed, and I don't think he's maximizing that part
It's
of his
funny
game.
because Teddy Braha has the genes of his father being one of the best in our community history. Ahadon Cohen has his brother and his dad as the athlete.
His other brother also.
Right, so it's all in that same type of round, and they both want to take that next, could they get to first round status?
Right.
Or are they going to stay? By the way, they're great players, but are they going to stay third, fourth, fifth round?
Or we go into a first round.
Right, are they going to have that year where, maybe we're taking it, right?
Right.
Could that happen soon? It may.
Right, like, you know what? I think his ceiling is like a Jake Dweck type of kid.
That's great.
That's his ceiling.
Great because Jake Dweck's been fantastic.
But he needs to find that power.
Right,
That's what it comes down to. Okay, then we have in left field a player that you're excited about.
Yeah, I am. I didn't know how he looked. He joined us. He said he's going to be into it. Joe Chira, welcome back. He was taken late. And he started just playing last week again. And I played against him. He looks great.
No matter,
Still in
even if I
shape.
didn't see him, I don't care when the last time I saw him, the fact that he went this late in the draft
Was a good pick.
it automatically makes it a good pick.
Yeah, I think it helped Stevens' draft because he was behind the 8 ball a little bit. If Joe could be that 1 or 2 hitter in a lineup, it's going to depthen this team, and nobody's going to doubt his defense. In
Right.
that field, maybe center. I don't know what they're going to do there. They have a nice amount of outfielders and good outfielders.
Then they have another exciting rookie in right field in Navy 3.
So I was very high on this Navy 3, personally. He's, as me and Sammy coined the saying, and everybody makes fun of us.
Built like a truck.
He's built like a truck. But I've seen more consistency out of him in the past. This year, I've already heard. I didn't see it as much. I haven't been going.
You're talking about
to
an
the
underground
league.
liquid leagues.
Yes. So I've been going to the league, and I haven't been there often. this year. I've been a little busy, and I heard he's been a little bit more up and down. He hasn't been as consistent.
Listen, will he play a good right field is the question.
Yes, I think at outfield he'll be fine.
I think that's all they really need from him, and whatever offense he provides is great. Then we have at first base Ray Estes. We know what he brings to the table. He actually became a really good defensive first baseman, and he'll come up with hits if he gets the opportunities. And that second base, I actually like what they did over here.
So they made a trade, and we saw Morty Sherman play second base on the Yankees, and he was the best.
Listen, he also struggled at shortstop, and we know he plays great shortstop with non-gold ball. But with his gold ball at second base, I think he got a little older, a little more mature.
But I'm even better than that. He had trouble at shortstop on the Yankees. They moved him to second, and he turned to the second base.
They traded for Teddy.
Yeah. But he played fantastic at second, and I like what they did there.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, you know the funny thing about Morty? We look at him as the kid on the team. He's the captain of all of his teams in every other league he plays in.
And I think we always think that he's like 18, but every year he gets older.
He's got a thicker beard than you and me.
Yeah, he sure does.
And then at third base.
So this is a big announcement.
So now, again, Jordy Romeld was drafted. He was drafted, what number was it?
14 or 15?
Number 14 in the draft. And Jordy Romeld, unfortunately, Refuah Shalema, he separated his shoulder on an unfortunate, what was it? It was like a collision play.
I was there when it happened. Not even a collision. It happened non-contact.
And he may need season-ending surgery.
We'll see. He's rehabbing, and it's happened a few times. And anybody who's ever at the field and sees it, everybody always feels like, ouch, you see his pain. This is the first time I was there, and now I know what they're saying. You see him
he's writhing in pain. And listen, I don't know who their replacement is yet. I know they're talking about a few names here and there. I don't know who that call is going to be. They didn't officially make that decision yet.
So there's a few names on the docket that we approved. And, hey, Jordy's one hell of a player.
Whoever they take for him,
it's
got to have to be a good player. Taking 14 overall, which is even late for Jordy. And Jordy's a hell of a player. We know that.
Now, the funny thing is, Jordy this year, he was going to play some shortstop on this team. Now, when I spoke to Steven, he was going to play some shortstop on this team. But
where was Steven going to go?
He was going to play third.
Okay, interesting.
They were going to flip-flop it or whatever. Who they pick up now maybe doesn't have to be a shortstop, but that's fine. Jordy's bat is electric as well.
Listen, then at short center field, welcome back to the league, David Sabag. David Sabag, he's a lefty. He uses all fields. He's a really good athlete.
Utility man as well. He could play short center, could play right.
I've seen him play really good right field for years. And now he said he wants to take it a little easy, go to short center. Little does he know that short center field's not as easy as he thinks.
He played short center on this field as a sub a few times and was great.
And then the next three guys, two of them are actually Stephen Gindy guys. Joey Levy, he goes back to that well every year. And Leo Hanono, he actually drafted him a few years ago, I think on the Foam Rollers, I'm not sure.
Very good.
And then to round out their team, a guy that's probably going to be underutilized and I think is going to end up in right field is Lawrence Kurtz.
So I don't know if it's I think they know Lawrence is good.
Oh, so
Ray Estes told me he knows Lawrence Kurtz.
In my opinion, I think he should be starting in right field over Navy 3, and Lawrence Kurtz is a really good ball player.
So they're going to have to switch off games. That's how it's going to work.
I think that's how it's going to happen.
And because they're both really good.
I can't figure it out. This team is missing something. I don't know what they're missing, but they're missing an ingredient, and I don't know if it's the mix of guys, and I know Ralph can dominate any given moment. I know he can, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and even though Stephen Gindy's usually in the World Series, I don't think this team's making the playoffs.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know what it is, and I could be way off. I just don't feel like they're making the playoffs.
So I'm going to go, very interesting, you mentioned the Foam Rollers. I usually don't remember teams that don't win. I don't remember the names of them. But this team reminds me of that. And what that was, a 4-5 team.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
They were flat.
So I think this team is going to be going against Edmund Beta, Teddy Ishak, and Sammy Esses in the wild card game. It's going to be a fun game.
I don't imagine making the playoffs, and I may be dead wrong. I don't know.
That's how I see. I see them in the 4-5 wild card game. Let's move on.
Okay, down to the last two teams. We have Saban's We Are Live.
We are live.
Saban's team, I really, really like what he did. He went away from a Saban-esque team.
I mean, you could say that, but you only saw that coming after the fourth round.
But guess what? He got his guys. He got, Michael. No, here's one of them. On the mound is Michael Ancona.
Okay.
That's not a guy that he usually would get. He usually doesn't take a pitcher until the 12th round.
Right. So Saban played with Michael Ancona. I was on that team with him last year.
Right.
Sunday morning. And we made a nice run. He was only pitching one game a week. That's the way it was set. And Michael liked him. Michael Saban solid.
Well, obviously he did.
Right, he picked him.
And now we have another young rookie at shortstop, and we're all familiar with him, is your son,
That's right.
Jackie Sutton.
So I have you could say I'm biased.
So you know what? keep you out of this. Oh, I'm biased too. Whoops. We all think he's going to have a really good year.
Yes, I know Jackie defensively. I'm very confident.
But that's what else. I'll agree. I think he'll be great defensively. I don't think he'll hit a lick.
So offensively, last year when he came in to a Sunday morning in the middle of the year, he started a little light and then he picked it up. And he found his way on base. Was it lucky? Was it not? Will remain to be seen.
You know what's going to help him? Being in a lineup with Ali Marshall
Yeah,
and
he might be
Sabon.
batting 9th or 10th.
Right, and they're going to actually...
Right.
Ali's a really good coach for the younger players. No one knows that. He
So
really
Jackie's
is.
got a great arm, and I think he's going to play a great short. And I don't think he's going to get nervous from the people.
Well, you know why? Because he's going to be on the team of the guys that usually would make you nervous.
Well, no, but even some people have trouble playing with Sabon. He played with Michael Sabon.
Right, he
Solomon
knows
already.
him. He knows him.
He's been in the league since he's 9 years old watching these guys.
Right,
He's
yeah.
like, I know these guys.
So he's part of the family.
Yeah, it's like his uncles, you know, so
Right.
it's not an issue.
And then listen, I could see Yossi Abramson having a Yossi Abramson type year, which is
Okay.
essentially, has streaky weeks where he'll go 6 for 7 and then he'll go 0 for 9 and Sabon's
Sure.
cursing him.
Sometimes he looks so good, sometimes he looks so bad.
And when he's
So
going
fun.
well, he hits those line drives over the third
Left field,
baseman,
yeah.
and they like paint the line, and they're triples,
Right. And he's fast.
Right, he's speeding. And then Kush, I think, is going to start the year in right field.
Okay, so-
And you know what? Deservingly so. But that creates a little bit of a controversy. They might be splitting games because they have DC also on this team.
I think Kush is a major, going to be a Sabon fan. Sabon's going to like Kush, I think.
'Cause he's an offensive player.
That's right. Kush, and now he always hits in our night league.
Yeah,
He's-
I want to tell you something about Kush. You look at the numbers that Kush puts up year in, year out, he gets no respect.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why. The other leagues he plays in, he doesn't always hit.
Right.
So it's weird. And he comes in night going against the same defenses,
Same pitchers,
same
right.
pitchers, and he hits. Now he's hitting Sunday morning too.
Okay, so, yeah, I think
they're going to be a fan. I think Sabon and Kush is going to
Listen,
be a
he
good
did
mix.
win the batting title a few years ago, even
That's
though he
right.
sat out the last at-bats, which I'll never let him live down.
Jose Reyes.
Yeah, but listen, he's been having good offensive years, and he's always a part of a championship
He's on a lot of good
run.
teams.
He was on
Yeah.
GOAT last year.
Yeah, he's on good teams.
He's a good player. He's going to be in right field, I believe, to start the year. Maybe DC will take some games there as well.
I think DC is the better fielder.
DC won Gold Glove in this league before.
Yeah, I
we
think
know
DC
he
might be the better defender, but let's see how that goes.
Okay, then we have Sabon at first base, which is Sabon. We have to talk about him. He's
been
money.
Money at the plate.
And then Jimmy, I hope he's healthy.
So I heard good news. I heard that he started taking swings this week. He bumped into that pitcher that he took a picture with.
Who?
That
Monet Davis?
Yes, Monet Davis. He bumped into her. They saw each other in John Franco's car wash.
Yeah.
And Jimmy started taking batting practice, and it's a good sign.
Okay,
he's
listen.
in shape. He's eating kale salad.
And now he's living in Deal?
Yes.
So there'll be no traveling?
He's traveling. He's gonna have
No, Sabon, I'm sleeping in your house tonight. No,
Right, no.
he's sleeping in his own bed
He's gonna be
tonight.
neighbors with Sabon, so they might be calling each other through the window. But,
Right.
But yeah, that's great news.
Yeah, he'll ride with him. And then we have JoJo Mamie at third base, a.k.a. Babon,
Yeah, so-
which is another fan of the Sabon loves Babon. He actually saved the season on the Cubs a few years ago as a sub.
Jojo Mamie defensively could be questionable.
Yeah, but he also makes
He
spectacular
makes some
plays.
spectacular plays. I hope he's going to have that, uptick. Offensively,
He has
he's
to-
only getting better.
Let me tell you something. Yes, but all I think in my mind is that pop-up he had
Ouch,
in the
don't
World
say it.
Series.
Runner on third.
And runner on third with less than 2 out in the World
it's hard.
Series.
It's hard to come through.
And let's see if he can shake that, because
Right, to the
if he
line.
does that on a Sabon team, he might lose his teeth.
Oh my goodness.
So that's
right. So yeah, we know he's going to hit over the course of the season. He put up big numbers last year, but in the clutch moments,
Right.
is the light's going to be too
Well,
light?
this is where a guy like Mocas comes in on this
I
team.
love Mocas as this
Because Mocas, this lineup is extremely deep, and Mocas just lengthens it, and he's a calming presence for a guy. He's like the yin to the yang of Sabon. You might have that crazy, but then he like
Mocas.
balances it out.
I
with
mean, he'll
Mocas.
laugh from Sabon, the best buddies, but yes, he might be the positive camaraderie you need to bring it all together.
Unless you put Ruby Saka in front of his face.
That'd be great also.
And then to round out
It's
the
funny,
team,
and if Mocas has to be the 4-hitter on a team like this, I don't always love it. But like you said, he could be 6'7" and have runners on base.
imagine I'm mentioning the 12th guy in the team is Hebrew Hammer.
He is tearing it up.
Yeah, but he's tearing it up in subpar competition.
Correct.
I really need to see him do it when
I
it counts.
cannot wait to see what he's going to do, because he's very, very confident. Like I mentioned,
But I will
Joe
tell you-
B's confident. Hammer has that
I
confidence.
will tell you something about Hammer though, and it's something that's troubling me. He does seem to be injury prone. He broke his arm. Now he's nursing 3 broken toes. He has It's always something up with
I hope
with
he's a
Hammer.
big guy. Maybe he has that Aaron Judge thing because he's like a big guy.
Could be.
Hopefully it'll flush.
I want to see him come through. Listen, I think they're a playoff team. I think Michael Ancona is a perfect mix for this squad. I like the youth and the vets. I like it a lot.
This team to me has two teams in one. You got Michael Ancona, Jackie Sutton, JoJo Mamie, Abramson. It's like one quiet type.
And then the crazies.
And then you have Sabon, Jimmy, Ali.
It sounds like an oil and water type of deal.
I think Mocas has to be the guy to mix that oil and water.
He's going to be the job.
And make a delicious dressing. And I think they're going to be in the World Series.
Okay,
I think
wow.
they'll be a top 3 seed. I don't know 1, 2, or 3, but I do think they're going to end up in the
So
World
I
Series.
do have them as a playoff team as well. And now finally we have a team that I'm excited about.
The Hitmen.
This is the Hitmen, captained by Shimmy Cohen. I'll even call Joey Cohen his co-captain because I know all decisions are made in lockstep together.
Okay.
And I love what he did in this draft. I love it.
So Joey Cohen, first off, it wasn't shocking to me. He took him early, right?
No, I knew he was going there.
Joey's been so excited to play.
He's fiending. He watches the highlights from the World Series every day, and I'm not joking when I say that.
He is excited. He wants to
He
win.
felt like he was snubbed last year in the Cy Young voting. He felt like he was snubbed in the Gold Glove voting, even though he won it. He felt like he was. Joe is a competitor. He is nuts, but guess what? He's effective and he's a killer on the mound.
So he is coming for blood.
But let's see if his offense wakes up this year.
Right. So it started picking up at the end, and that's going to be a
he
big
was
part.
left on deck.
On deck with the winning run on base.
Yep.
Yeah. But he's number 1. I like to pick Yankee Gutman.
Big Gutman fan. I think.
Love.
Listen,
Love.
so far the start of this team, you have Joey Cohen and Gutman, and then in center field after that you have Shimmy. That's a great start for center field shortstop.
And Shimmy, it's so crazy that we've been playing with Shimmy for like 6-7 years, and he's always a very strong player.
Right.
But he took another leap.
Yeah, he
he
took a
really
leap.
did. I mean, that's all you could say.
Speaking about taking
He got
leaps,
better.
we have Alan Jamal
Okay,
on
so
this team.
I'm a little skeptical on Allen now. I think everybody's so high on Allen.
How could you be skeptical?
And I think he's
What's to be skeptical
I think
about?
he's a very strong player. He's great. He'd be great defensively. I don't see him taking the next step offensively.
He's my Gold Glove candidate for left field from now.
Okay.
And then Hank DeWeck, I feel like he fell to them. I felt like Hank was going to go to Melech's spot where he took Ike Mavora.
Yeah, okay.
And then I think he slid and he fits perfectly with his bunch. He doesn't have to be the man on the team because you have guys like Gutman and Shimmy and Allen. He's going to probably bat 4 on this team. But then they acquired a guy like Victor Allenham, who's also going to be a big bat in this team, and we don't know who's
Again,
going to
I'm questionable on Allen. I don't know much, but it sounds like Shimmy loves him. And
He loves him. I from what I've seen, he's great. I don't know what's
Butchie
at third base.
Butchie became a stalwart. He does what he got to do.
Right.
Then we got Shmuel Lewis. He's at catcher. Brookville himself.
Mr. Brookville himself.
Moshe Zachi. And then the cream rises at the
Yeah,
end.
Victor Abadi.
Victor Abadi. He's a money hitter. I think this is the only team my brother and I have agreement on.
Unanimous decision World
I
Series
think they're
team.
going to be in the World Series. And
quick overview. My 2 World Series picks are the team we just spoke about, the Hitmen. Number 2, it will be Saul Towell's layout. The 2 teams I do not think are making the playoffs is Stephen Gindy's Speed Kills and Gabe Abadi's The Hole. And then the 3 teams left, Melech I think is going to be a wild card team. I think Sabon's going to be a wild card team. And the 3rd seed I have as the Great Awakening.
well, that's for your bulletin board material if you can remember it. Well, I have Shimmy in the World Series. I do. I have Sabon in the World Series again with this team. I hope that can be
You
fun.
don't have Cats in the
I
Cradle?
have Cats in the Cradle and the Hole. That's the other one.
Not making the playoffs.
Not making it. I have Eddie Harari with Leia as a 3 seed. Going to be the 3 seed. And T.I. and SJG going to be in that 4-5 game. That's how I see it.
Really interesting. Let's see how this turns out.
Now, this was a preview of the whole league. Opening night.
Is just 5 days away.
Yes, and we're going to give you predictions on that after this.